Hello, friends! Today I am painting one of the most iconic scenes from Studio Ghibli. A scene that feels soft, surreal, and overwhelming all at once. You may have seen it on a lot of YouTube channels. The massive cloud and wispy sunflowers from The Wind Rises. I will be using my smaller Himi Jelly Gouache set today, since this scene has a limited color palette. The Ghibli cloud is probably one of the most intimidating things for me to paint, not just because of the size, but because of the emotion it carries with it. I had to keep telling myself, just focus on the shapes, not the cloud itself. You'll get through it. This might not be a breeze, but that's okay. Blending meant everything for this painting, especially with this cloud. I used slightly old, rough brushes to blend the blue and white edges together. Clouds don't really have harsh lines, so blending the colors while the paint is still wet is crucial and helps create that smooth gradient that Ghibli creates in their very soft aesthetic scenes. I switched to a larger round brush to shape the details of the cloud. It was a lot easier to capture its soft flowing shapes that way. And if you're enjoying this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more cozy art tutorials and paintings. One of my favorite parts about Studio Ghibli art is how the background tells just as much of a story as their characters do. This landscape itself feels emotion. It feels vast and huge and large, just like the film. And if you haven't seen the movie, The Wind Rises, it's a beautifully bittersweet Ghibli film about chasing dreams in a world on the edge of war. A lot of their films tend to have that too. It follows an aircraft designer as he balances love, loss, and the cost of creation. Very fitting for this scene. Every frame feels like a painting, delicate, emotional, and full of wind-swept longing, just like the love he meets in the film. Very romantic and very inspiring. Here I use dry brushing or a blending with a damp brush to soften the edges and try to get that key Ghibli softness in the clouds, still focusing on the shapes. One of the most powerful lines from The Wind Rises is, "The wind is rising, we must try to live." I've always loved that quote. It's simple, but it holds so much meaning. To me, it's about how life keeps moving even when things feel uncertain or overwhelming. And in moments like that, art becomes a way to hold on to something real, which is why I've always stuck with art. Painting for me is a way of life, of slowing down time, noticing the little things, beauty, and putting emotion into form, into all my pieces. It's not just about capturing what something looks like, but what it feels like. When I'm trying to paint something realistically, I've learned it's less about perfection and more about observation. Observation is always key, and so is perspective. Instead of saying, this is a cloud or this is a sunflower, I usually break it down into simple shapes and where each shape is in reference to each other when I'm painting it. Using a limited palette also helps too in paintings. Sometimes just a few carefully chosen colors can say more than a dozen that literally don't belong together. It makes it way too complicated. I believe I only used like 8 colors in this whole painting too, so it was very simple and a very quick painting to me. I've learned to trust my eye over my fear. If something feels right, even if it's not technically exact, I just go with it. Because in the end, realism in art and painting isn't about copying, it's about connection. It's about improving and honing your skills, seeing something clearly and letting it move through you, or what some other artists refer to as developing a flow state. Trusting yourself to paint and trusting the painting to come to life. Thank you so much for spending time with me today and for making it to the end of this video. I hope this piece inspired you to slow down, observe deeply, and let your creativity flow freely. Whether you're painting clouds, sunflowers, or just exploring color, remember, it's not about perfection, it's about connection. And as always, be bold, be creative, and most importantly, be you. See you again next time.